flag is now in the air, signaling that everything is ready for the starting procedure to begin. He surprised everybody and he goes into the race lead. Fantastic start. So, there's a big crash.
Hello race fans, for the third and final time this weekend. Here we are again in Austria on a magnificent racetrack called Salzburgring. And here we are on the starting grid again, just ahead of the final race of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship here on the Salzburgring. And here we have the winner of the first and also of the second race, Max Karhan, racing for the Jensen Motorsport. The Czech driver is ready again to fight for the glory here on Salzburgring. This time Max Karhan will be starting from a P4, so it will be a bit more difficult for the Czech driver. But anyway, again, we do have top 4 places occupied by 4 Jensen Motorsport drivers, and this time it is Javier Herrera, the Mexican driver, starting from the pole position to the final race of the weekend. And I'm really curious what is going to happen in the final race, because again, we have the best place car from the rest of the world here at P5 at the moment. So it will be again Andreas Labue racing for Mafia Racing, starting from the 5th place on the grid. Maybe we can do the final thoughts with Andreas. Andreas, just a quick word. How do you feel before the final race?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Had not the best race on the second one, so full focus and yeah, just want to do better.
Okay, Andreas, thank you very much. Keep fingers crossed for you. So this is our newcomer, Andreas Labue, starting the race from P5 now. He finished the second race in P8, and it really wasn't the result he hoped for in the second race. So definitely he hopes for better now. And again, we have another strong 2 cars here. The cars of local team Renauer Motorsport, so the Austrian racing squad, this time with this time with Simon Schranz starting over there from the 6th place, and here with number 6 it is Hade Mimasi starting on the 7th place. So we will be also focused on the home Austrian team racing on the home soil. So the final race of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship here on Salzburgring will be starting in a few moments, and please make sure you are joining us live here on YouTube. So we are starting in a few moments. Thank you very much. Hello race fans, again welcome to Austria. Here we are for the final time this weekend on Salzburgring, and we are getting ready for the final race of the weekend of the FIA Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship here on this beautiful Alpine racetrack hidden in the narrow Alpine Valley. The place where you can watch racing from the Alpine hills. It's very unique actually, so you should visit at last once in your life if you are a true racing fan, and I believe you are. So, and we have the starting grid ready again for the final race of the weekend, and again top 4 places occupied by 4 Jense Motorsport drivers. Front row, starting from the pole position, is the Mexican driver Javier Herrera. Alongside him, his fellow Mexican companion Nicolas Cortez. We have the green flag, and let's get ready. We are racing for the final time here on Salzburgring. It's the final race of the FIA Formula 4 CEZ here in Austria, and let's get ready for the first chicane after the start of the race. It is still Javier Herrera leading the way, but the other Mexican, Nicolas Cortez, goes for the inside, and he should be the leader of the race now. So it was a really good starting reaction done by Nicolas Cortez. I believe he is the leader of the race now, but look at this battle for the first place between the 2 teammates here. It is Herrera against Cortez, the Mexican versus Mexican. Behind them, it is Gino Trappa ahead of Max Karhan. Max Karhan won the first 2 races here on Salzburgring, and now he wants to fight for the 3rd win in a row. 25 minutes of racing ahead of us, and look at this lead battle. 4 Jense Motorsport cars, 4 Jense Motorsport drivers are battling each other. No, there was a mistake by one of the Mexicans, and I believe it was Cortez, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see for the live timing, and another lockup by another Jense Motorsport car. But let's wait and see for the live timing on the main straight. We have also Simon Schranz gaining the positions. So Simon Schranz, racing for Renault Motorsport, is already in P4 now, so very good start by the local hero. And here we are on the main straight, and Gino Trappa is the race leader. So what a great first lap by the Argentinian driver. He makes a lockup here into the first chicane, but he is still the leader of the race. Javier Herrera is there in P2, ahead of the other Mexican driver Nicolas Cortez in P3, and behind Cortez, it is Simon Schranz trying to find his way ahead of Cortez. So it's a battle for the 3rd place now between Cortez and Schranz, and Max Karhan, the winner of race 2 and race 1 yesterday, is in the 5th place now. So it wasn't a good start for the Czech driver Max Karhan, who won 2 races here this weekend. But nothing has been decided yet, and look at this battle between Schranz and Cortez. Schranz is trying to make his way around the Mexican driver, and he made it through, so good job by the Austrian. And now Nicolas Cortez is being under pressure because Max Karhan is really close behind him. So anytime soon there will be another battle for P4 at the moment. Gino Trappa leads the way, so our championship leader is in the 1st place now as we are going into the first chicane again with 22 minutes to go. Trappa leads the way, and oh no, there was a mistake by one of the Jense cars. So most likely this was Cortez here, and look at Karhan. Karhan is trying to overtake Schranz. It's a battle between the Austrian and the Czech driver. Karhan is going round the outside, and this will work for him perfectly. So Karhan takes P4 here. Good stuff by the Czech driver, who wants to be on the podium again, and no doubt. It still could be a perfect weekend. It still could be a clean sweep for Max Karhan, but now he is only in P4, so he needs to be quick. He needs to overtake the Mexican driver ahead of him as soon as possible. And he needs to also follow this battle between the two teammates. Oh no, there was almost a contact between Gino Trappa and Javier Herrera. What a battle for the first place here. We are on the main straight and it's a nice battle for the first place between the two teammates. Between the two South American drivers. Gino Trappa still in the lead, but it's a close battle between him and Javier Herrera into the first chicane again. Wow, what a battle between the Jensen Motorsport drivers. And there are almost no gaps from first to the 7th place now. What an exciting race. Top 4 places occupied by Jensen Motorsport drivers. Then it's Schranz racing for Renauer Motorsport ahead of another Renauer Motorsport driver, Hadi Mimasi from Canada. David Walter racing for Mafia Racing in P7, Andreas Lobue in P8, another Mafia Racing driver, Matilda Paz racing for Matilda Racing in P9, and Theodor Borenstein racing for Mafia in P10. But look at this battle up in the front again. Here we go with 4 Jensen Motorsport cars into the right-handed corner in the last sector of Salzburgring, the final chicane, and we will be on the main straight again. And what an exciting race, what an exciting final of the race weekend here on Salzburgring. Gino Trappa still in the lead, Herrera in P2 ahead of Cortez and Karhan in P4, but the Czech driver wants to try it. The Czech driver wants to finish the race on the podium. Nice battle here between Mimasi and Walter. The Danish driver with his Mafia Racing car is trying to find his way ahead of Hadi Mimasi, racing for the local team Renauer Motorsport, but still Mimasi in P6 and Walter behind in P7. But what a great race. It's a proper weekend final here on Salzburgring, and it will be really difficult for Gino Trappa. He is still in the lead, but again, he is under huge pressure. Javier Herrera behind him, trying to find his way, maybe around the outside, but not this time. And behind them, another battle for the 3rd place now between Cortez and Karhan. And Karhan locks up and goes for the inside, but there won't be a space for the Czech driver, so he needs to wait for another chance. We are in the final chicane again. Trappa leads the way. Left-handed corner leads the drivers to the main straight again. Here we are. Still 18 minutes to go. Still 18 minutes of exciting racing here on Salzburgring. Trappa leads the way. And then we have Herrera, and Karhan is in P3. So Max Karhan made it up onto the podium, but there is another battle, and I believe that Karhan dropped back in P4 now, and Cortez should be in P3 again. So it's never-ending battle between the Czech and Mexican driver now. And look at Simon Schranz. He's trying to overtake one of the Jensen cars. And I must remind you that Simon Schranz finished in P3 in the 2nd race, so he knows how to finish on a podium here on his home soil. And again, Simon Schranz is being really good in the final race. Really good pace done by the Austrian local hero. Also David Walter in the mix in the white car of Mafia Racing. Behind Walter it is Hadi Mimasi and then Andreas Lobue in P8. That's the end of the group of the cars up in the front. Behind Lobue, it's Matilda Paz in P9 and Borenstein taking the final point in P10 now. Behind Borenstein, it's Bennett Gaspar, the Hungarian, fighting for the championship point again. He was in P10 at the end of the 2nd race, so good chance for points again for the Hungarian. But let's be focused on this battle here. No changes now, and there is actually a small gap between Trappa and Herrera. Half a second between these two drivers. Plus, Herrera needs to be defensive here because Nicolas Cortez is closely behind him, trying to find his way ahead.
There was no chance this time around, but the battle goes on, I'm sure of it. Here we go, wheel to wheel between the two Mexican drivers again. Wheel to wheel battle for the second place now between Herrera and Cortez. Of course, all drivers have the same car, the same chassis, the same single-seater tattoos, the 421, same engine for everybody, and it's only about the driving skills, the driving talent here in this junior championship. So it's proper racing with elbows out. Gino Trappa is gaining the advantage lap by lap. He's making the gap between him and the rest of the field bigger and bigger. It would be even more now, yes, 0.8 of a second between Trappa and Cortez. And Cortez is keeping the other two Jensen cars behind him. Oh no, there's a mistake by one of the Jensen cars and also by one of the Maffei cars. So the Maffei car, I guess it was Andreas Lebue skipping the chicane. Yes, it was number 18. So it was Andreas Lebue in the second car, and the first car was one of Jensen Motorsport cars. So some time has been lost here. And look at the battle between Karhan and Herrera. So now the Czech driver again is trying to find a way. And also we have another battle between the two Jensen cars and one of the Maffei cars. So it's Schranz and Mimasi against one of the other cars here. So let's wait and see for the main straight. Let's wait for the standings. We have Gino Trappa in the lead. Cortez is in the P2. Karhan in P3, yes. So Max Karhan overtook Javier Herrera. David Walter in P5. Hadi Mimasi in P6. Then P7 for Matilda Paz. Schranz made a mistake and now he is in P8 ahead of Theodor Borenstein in P9. Bennett Gaspar in P10. So again, so at the moment it is one championship point for the Hungarian driver racing for Zönge Motorsport, and Andreas Lebue dropped down into P11. So Andreas needs to fight back if he wants to grab some points from the final race of the weekend here on Salzburgring. And another group of cars, another group of drivers fighting each other. You can see the red and white car that belongs to David Gorczyca, the newcomer racing for Yannick Motorsport. Last time around, David Gorczyca was there in P12. And now we can see him in the group of other cars, including Maffei racing drivers. That should be also Andreas Lebue there. 12 minutes to go. Trappa leads the way. And we do have Andreas Lebue back in the top 10, driving in P10 at the moment. And no, there was a mistake. And that's Javier Herrera cutting the chicane through the gravel zone, which means David Walter from Denmark should be there ahead of him, racing for Maffei Racing. So it was an unfortunate mistake done by the Mexican driver. So he dropped down the order, and now he should be in P5. And he opened the door for David Walter. So the Danish driver now is in P4, and he has a chance to fight for the podium. Look at this battle between Renauer Motorsport, Maffei Racing and Jensen Motorsport drivers. So Szymon Schranz is trying to find his way back after the mistake he made in the first chicane a few laps earlier. on the main straight again with 11 minutes to go. Karhan in P3 behind Trappa and Cortez. Then it is Hadi Mimasi in P4, David Walter in P5, Javier Herrera dropped down into the P6, Schranz in P7 ahead of Matilda Paz and Bennett Gaspar in P9, so it is being even better for the Hungarian driver now. Andreas Lobue in P10, and behind him it is Gorčica, Borenstein, Němec, Sabaj and Nikolai Dirvet closing the field in P15. Another wheel-to-wheel battles, and this should be Hadi Mimasi against Walter, and we also have the fight between the two Jensen Motorsport drivers. Max Karhan is trying to find his way ahead of his teammate with number 23, that's Nicolas Cortez. So Max Karhan is definitely picking up the pace. Last time around, Max Karhan was the fastest driver on the track, lapping 1:22.5, so that's the fastest lap of the race so far. Really good job by Max Karhan, who is really fast again. And the gap between leading driver Gino Trappa and Nicolas Cortez is getting smaller and smaller. We only have 0.6 of a second between these two now, so not even the fight for the victory has been decided, and this is a bad news for Javier Herrera. Javier Herrera has started the race from pole position, but now he entered the pit lane, and I'm afraid that this is the end for the Mexican driver in this race. I would say there was something wrong with left rear suspension of his car, so I doubt that he is going to rejoin the race. What a shame for Javier Herrera. It wasn't a good weekend for him. Earlier today in the second race he finished in P14, and now I believe he is forced to retire the car, so a day to forget for the Mexican. But Jensen Motorsport still in the game for 1-2-3 finish here. There is a very decent gap between Max Karhan and the rest of the field. We've got 4 seconds between the leading group and the other drivers. Max Karhan in P3, then 4 seconds, and then we've got David Walter in P4 racing for Maffei Racing. Hadi Mimasi there in P5 ahead of Matilda Paz. Andreas Lobue in P7. Wow, what a good job by Andreas. He is gaining the lost ground again. Just a few moments ago he was in P11, and now we have him in P7, so it's really good second half of the race for the young Swiss driver racing for Maffei Racing. Andreas has started from P5, then he dropped down, and now he's back again, so currently P7 for Andreas, and a good chance for another progress here, because he's only 0.5 of a second behind Matilda Paz. So maybe even P5 is still possible for Andrea. Good job here. 7 minutes to go. Gino Trappa is leading the race. It's a 13th lap now. We are in the 14th lap of the race. 1.1 second between the first and third driver. It's a one group fighting for the win here, and I hope it will be a nice and clean battle to the very last lap of the race between these 3 drivers: Gino Trappa, Nicolas Cortez, Max Karhan. Again, very dominant performance showed by Jensen Motorsport, by the Swiss racing squad here on Salzburgring. And Karhan is getting closer, and Now it's a wheel-to-wheel battle between Karhan and Cortez. Max Karhan trying to go around the outside. Good defensive line by Nicolas Cortez. He kept himself on the inside, and that was the good choice. So he left no space there for Max Karhan, but there might be another chance for the Czech driver very soon. Here we are again on the main straight of the racetrack. 4.2 kilometers long Salzburgring. Through the first chicane with larger gaps between the drivers, so no chance for overtaking here. But I believe that the final showdown is still yet ahead of us here. So behind Karhan it is David Walter in P4. 4 seconds behind Karhan. Matilda Paz in P5, another great race for the German female driver. Andreas Lobue already in P6, so Andreas overtook Hadi Mimasi on the main straight. Again, good job from the Swiss racer. And he is in the striking distance behind Matilda Paz, so there might be another overtaking attempt from the side of Andreas Lobue, because he feels that the chance for top 5 finish is here today. Again on the main straight, no changes here. Gino Trappa leads the way through the first chicane. Cortez in P2, Karhan in P3. Last time around, Karhan was the fastest driver from the top 3. 1:22.767. Good job by the Czech driver. He knows that he needs to be really close, or really closely behind Cortez. Otherwise, he won't be able to overtake his Mexican teammate. Maybe now there could be another chance. Oh no, we have a car off the track! Number 22, that's Theodor Borenstein, the Czech driver, racing for Mafia Racing, and this was a massive, massive crash, because you can see the broken suspension, you can see the broken front wing, and also some water leak behind the tire barrier. It's very, very strange crash. Red flag. The race has been stopped now with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. I believe this is the end, because with so little time remaining, most likely there won't be any restart. So I believe this is the end of the race. Yes, the cars are coming to the pits again, and I'm wondering what's happened there, because it must been a massive crash. And I hope that Theodor Borenstein will be all right after this wild incident here. We could see a lot of damage to his car, to his Formula 4 entered by Mafia Racing. And the strangest thing was the leak of the water. You could see a stream of water behind the tire barrier, so maybe there was some broken pipeline or something like that. Oh my goodness me. Well, we have the red flag with 3 minutes and 1 second to go, so maybe possibly there could be a restart, but we have to wait and see. We have to wait for the official information from race control. And good news here, we can see the Czech driver Theodor Borenstein walking away from the crash. So I believe Theodor will be all right. But what a scary moment. What a scary incident for all of us here. It's really, really good to see Theodor Borenstein being all right. Suspension of his car broken on both sides. The front wing absolutely destroyed. I'm wondering if there was a contact or if it was a driver's mistake. It's hard to say at the moment. But yes, the most important news is that the Czech driver was able to climb up, to climb out of the cockpit of his car, and we could see him walking away, which of course is really, really good news here. Look at the water leakage here. That's really, really strange. And honestly speaking, I've never seen something like that before in my entire life. And we have the information: the race will not be restarted. The race will not be restarted, so the results are final. Gino Troppa is the race winner in the final race here on Salzburgring. So Gino Troppa won the final race of the second weekend of the 2020. Oh, sorry, he won the final race of the third weekend of the 2025 Formula 4 Central European Zone Championship. So Troppa wins ahead of Nicolas Cortez, and Max Karhan takes P3. So it is 1-2-3 finish for the Swiss squad, Křenek Motorsport. Then we have David Walter in P4, Matilda Parts in P5, Andreas Lobue after some good overtaking in P6, Hadim Imasi in P7, Simon Schranz in P8. So those were the highlights of the final race of the weekend here in Salzburgring, and I can finish the order now. So both Renault Motorsport cars within top 10, so points for Hadim Imasi and Simon Schranz, as you can see now. Then we've got Bennett Gaspar again within top 10. So again, good job for the Hungarian driver, scoring points again. Bennett Gaspar finished the second race in P9, and now he is in P9 again. David Gorčica then in P10, taking the final championship point. And then it was František Němec in P11. Theodor Borenstein, after his crash, classified in P12. Michalina Sabaj in P13. Nikolai Tirvet in P14. And only Javier Herrera not classified after he retired his car. I believe it was due to the broken suspension on the rear left side. So unfortunate race for the Mexican driver racing for CEZ Motorsport. But anyway, again, a great race. A lot of on-track action, a lot of overtaking, a lot of close battles between the drivers on the racetrack. And of course, we are getting ready for the final podium session here on Salzburgring. So it is the second 1-2-3 finish for CEZ Motorsport. The first one was here yesterday in the first race, which was won by Max Karhan ahead of Gino Trappa and Nicolas Cortes. The second race, there was a winning double for CEZ Motorsport. Karhan was there in P1 ahead of Trappa, and Simon Schranz took the third place for Renault Motorsport. And this time again we have the 1-2-3 finish for CEZ Motorsport. Gino Trappa winning the final race ahead of Nicolas Cortes and the Czech driver Max Karhan. So these are the final results of the final race here on Salzburgring. Of course, we will be also celebrating the best rookies and the best female drivers. Everything here ahead of us just in a few moments. So this time we gonna listen to the Argentinian national anthem for the first time this weekend. And if I take a look back at the previous races, this is the win number 3 this season for Gino Trappa. And from the 9 races, there are 8 podium finishes for the Argentinian driver. So really good job by Gino Trappa, who is still the biggest championship contender in 2025 season. Before the final race, he has, he had 152 points to his name. Of course, he was leading the championship, and so does he now. Max Karhan was there in the second place in the standings with 117 points to his name. So if I do a quick calculation this time, just to refresh the overall standings, so it's 152 plus 25 for Gino Trappa, which means he has 177 points now. And Max Karhan finished the final race in P3, which means it is 117 plus 15 points. It makes 132 points here. So it is 45 points of difference between the leading driver, Gino Trappa, and the driver in the second place in the standings, Max Karhan. But of course, if we speak about the championship, if we speak about the title battle, nothing, absolutely nothing has been decided yet. The season is only in its halfway, and we have another 9 races ahead of us. The season goes on in Most at the end of July with another 3 races. Then we go to Slovakia for another 3 races on Slovakia Ring. And at the beginning of September, we're gonna have a big season final in Brno on a Masaryk circuit. And that will be really exciting for all the drivers, because as I said previously, there is a brand new tarmac, new curbs, new gravel zones. A lot of renovations has been made on Brno circuit, so it's again a great modern facility for racing in South Moravia. So that's a good news for all the drivers and all the racing fans. Of course, we are looking forward to have a MotoGP back in Brno in July, but now I believe we are almost ready for the final podium ceremony here on Salzburgring. Mr. Křenek again present in the white shirt, and as the chief of the promoters group, he is again ready to present drivers with their trophies. And again, we're gonna have 3 drivers wearing blue suits of Křenek Motorsport on the top 3 steps on the podium. Here comes Max Callahan finishing the final race in P3. Here we have his Mexican teammate Nicolas Cortez and third Křenek Motorsport driver Gino Trappa. This time climbing up to the top step on the podium. And let's hear and let's listen to the Argentinian national anthem.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
So this was the Argentinian national anthem for the winning driver Gino Trappa. As I said, the trophies are being presented again by Mr. Křenek, the head of the promoters group here, and the gentleman behind the whole championship actually. So it's good to have Mr. Křenek here. And the final trophy goes to the winning team representative, so also another trophy for Křenek Motorsport. Okay, one final bottle of champagne also for the team representative, and it's another champagne shower here on the podium. Now Max Callahan is trying to cover himself actually. It's a nice display of joy, closing the race weekend here on Salzburgring, and I believe all of you joining us live enjoyed the final race very much, just as I did. Of course, time for the final photo on the podium. And I believe we can move on for another podium ceremony here. The German flag is getting ready. So I believe we're gonna meet the best female drivers here, I guess. Yes, I can see the ladies waiting for their podium ceremony, yes. So let's go for the best ladies podium. And we only have 2 girls here. Michalina Sabai taking the 2nd place. She was in P13 overall. And of course, Matilda Paz won the ladies classification. So let's hear and listen to the German national anthem.
Thank you. Now the pictures for Matilda and the brass giving.
So trophies for the best ladies are again being presented by Mr. Křenek.
Then we have the trophy.
And I must say, what a great driver she is. And I'm speaking about Matilda Paz because she is a serious threat for the boys, of course. She finished in P5 overall, and during the previous race weekend on Red Bull Ring, she showed us that she can fight for the overall podiums in this championship. So she's very promising, a young talent from Germany. Very well done, Matilda Paz. Many congratulations to Matilda and to Matilda Racing. So that's almost all from the race weekend here on Salzburgring. it looks like we're gonna have also the final podium for the best rookie drivers after the final race of the weekend here. And I'm expecting to see the best junior drivers. Yes, here they come. So we have the final podium of the weekend. Hardy Mimasi from Křenek Motorsport won the rookie classification ahead of his teammate Simon Schranz from Austria. So the last pair of trophies is being presented now by Mr. Křenek again. So congratulations to our top two rookie drivers in the final race of the weekend here on Salzburgring. And that will be all from Salzburgring. Make sure you're gonna join us also for the following race weekend in Most in the Czech Republic at the end of July. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of Sunday.
The green flag is now in the air, signaling that everything is ready for the starting procedure to begin. He surprised everybody and he goes into the race lead. Fantastic start. So, oh, there's a big